Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Angelika's Journal. Um, Today, I'm going to do the intro to my sewing videos. I'm going to introduce you to a project I've done already, one that I plan on doing in the future, and a couple that I'm working on right now. Um, I like to upcycle and recycle materials and clothing. So let me just introduce you for the first thing. This is what I've already done. And I apologize. I'm trying to do this early in the day because at a certain time the sun will hit this window and then I won't be able to record it. These curtains, I made them probably a year ago. Now, I did not actually make the curtains. I combined two and then put the trimming on it. So what this is this is a green polka dotted curtain that my boyfriend's sister gave us. I'm trying to separate it because it's actually two curtains. Yeah, so this is the curtain she gave us. Now, I don't know if it shows up on camera, but because this is such a sunny window, can you see the two different tones of green? It's supposed to be like a lime green, but if you look right in here and a little bit here, it's almost like a sage green. I don't know if you can see that. It got sun bleached. And because I really love these green polka dotted curtain, especially among all my plants, but I also I was looking to replace it, and I found this white curtain. This is just a plain white one with the pom-poms on it. And I thought, oh, that's kind of boho. I like boho and I love color. So I bought this curtain, the white one with the pom-poms, from Amazon. And then I measured the width of the polka dotted one with the width of the white one. And the polka dotted one is actually from IKEA. I found the IKEA tag when I was sewing it. Is a little wider. So all I did was, I don't know if you can see, there's like a hem in here. So I just folded the polka dotted one in to match the white one, and I left the trim of the white one showing, and I just stitched right next to the trim. And then I did the same thing on this side. So there is a hem from the polka dotted curtain because it was wider. And so then I just sewed the two curtains together, and it kind of protects the polka dotted one from sun. Granted, the white one is a very sheer, so it's not going to give it much, but it'll give it a bit of protection. And I really loved it. And then after sewing it together, now when I sewed it together, their hem on the top was not the same. The white one had a bigger opening for the rod, and the green one had a smaller opening. So what I did was I sewed across the top, and then according to the green polka dotted curtain, I sewed on the bottom of the opening another hem. And then what I did, I wonder if I can get you close up. Here, let me try. Oh, no, that's not going to work. How do you zoom in? I have it flipped the other way, so I can't. Anyways, so I don't know if you can tell. There's actually a white ribbon right here. There's a white ribbon because of the hem difference. I had a white ribbon and I put it along that seam and the white curtain seam. So you can't tell that there's two different seams because the white ribbon is doing that stripe. Then when I did the white ribbon, I decided to put these pom-poms on it because I love, or tassels. I love tassels, I love pom-poms. And pom-poms and tassels go together. So I pulled out yarn of the same color as the pom-poms, or as close as I could get. The yellow is kind of off. This is orange, and that's more of a golden yellow. And the green also. This is a lime green, and I had the emerald green yarn. But what I did was I made a bunch of pom-poms, and then I had a long string at the end because I didn't know how I was going to attach it. And then I had some white beads, not white, but like a light color natural, these beads here. So I'm like, oh, what if I add some beads? And 3 seems to be the magical number. So I put 3 beads on it, and I thought, oh, I like that. And then I laid it on, and then the buttons, and I decided to match up the buttons with the color of the tassel. So for the blue tassel, there's a blue button. The purple, well, that one's kind of a pinkish purple. That one has pink. That one has a yellow button. The green has a green button, like that. And then I did random ones in between. And so when I sewed on the ribbon, I sewed the end of the tassel, the 6 inches that I had put the 3 beads on, and then I held it underneath and stitched over it with the sewing machine. So this ribbon is stitched on the top and on the bottom, and because of that, the extra part of the tassel, the string on the top, it was like 6-7 inches. So when I went with the sewing on the top and on the bottom, it caught that string twice. So these are pretty well in there. The only thing I regret is that I used knitting yarn and I didn't use embroidery floss. I think it would have looked better with embroidery floss. So I may one day decide just to cut it off and do one with embroidery floss and then figure out another way of attaching it. I don't know. Maybe I'll just tie it to the button and then tie a knot. I don't know. But I'd like to switch these out for embroidery floss tassels. I think they would look not so crafty, like it'll look more like it was meant to be. Like this looks like a craft project. But I still love it. I love the color. And it's a nice backdrop for my plants. And I have them on both sides. And then when I hemmed the bottom, I had the pom-poms on the bottom, but, oh, and when I did the hem, I did a big hem. I think it's like 10-inch hem on it. The reason why I chose to do that is because if you look, the rod is not all the way up to the ceiling. And when we move, the rod may be up at the ceiling. So I'm going to need that extra material so that it's not floating off the floor. So that's why I did a big hem. And then back to this. This was on the bottom of the white curtain. And I thought, well, I'm not going to get rid of it. And then I was thinking, well, I need to tie it back. And I thought, oh, I have this. So I use this and I just use it like a string. And I tie it. I've got a cup hook, you know, for your cups in the kitchen, those hooks. I put one of those hooks on either side and it's hooked onto it. And it drapes the pom-poms not only on the side of the curtain, but on the tie also. And, you know, most of it you don't even see because of the plant. But, there. Because the plant covers most of it, but in between the leaves you can see the color, right? It's not like boom in your face. It's kind of muffled with the plant. And so that was the project I did about a year ago. And then a future project, I upcycle clothing. And here's some pants. Yeah, they're pretty funky. I actually have black pants with elephants on it that I wear today. But But anyways, I saw these funky pants on AliExpress. That one. This one I really, really like. It's pink and blue. But look at the size. And this is an adult's extra large. Like, there's no way that's an extra large. I wear extra large. This is not extra large. This one, same thing. Like, look how small it is. And then there's this one too, which I thought was kind of funky, but not too much because it's only on the bottom. Well, to send it back, AliExpress is clothing from China. And so they got their Chinese sizing. Also, to return anything takes forever and it has to be approved after you've already sent it. And so I don't know. I just decided I don't want the hassle. I don't want the headache. I'm a sewer. I can fix this. Well, when I bought these three, I also bought two plain black ones because even though I do believe in, you know, you got to have some fun clothes, some crazy clothes. Don't forget, I grew up in the 60s and 70s. So to be a little bit out there is normal. But you do sometimes want things that are very plain and simple too, because your top might be the funky one, or you just want to have a calm, quiet day. You don't want to dress, you know, all funky and everything all the time. So this is plain black. This is black with the mesh. These, same thing. These are extra large from AliExpress. And there's no way this is extra large. Not an adult extra large. But if you think of it, they're very tiny society over there. They all are very petite. And so to them, this is probably an extra large. But in Canada, North America, Anyways, so what I thought, since I am a sewer, I am going to use the two black ones to enlarge. And I didn't pay much money for these things. So it's not as if I paid like $30, $40 for it. I think I paid like $10 or $12 or maybe even $8, who knows. But I'm going to use the black one. So what I'm going to do is open the stitching, the front and the back and the side. And so each one of these sides of the leg. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4 pieces, which means it can enlarge 2 pairs of pants. So then on this, you open up the side, you put in that black stripe. They're funky pants anyway, so who cares? And then same here, you open up that side, you add in that strip. Well, you've just made them, well, how much is the leg? Figure average is about 4 inches. So you've added 8 inches to a pair of pants. Okay, maybe 7 by the time you sew it in. But you've added to a pair of pants and you've made it bigger. It should fit me at that point. And even if I wanted, where's that blue one? Here, this one. If I wanted, I could even add this one to it and make it even another dimension of funkiness. I might have a pair of these that I bought here in Canada that used to fit me until COVID hit and I gained 31 pounds. But I could use maybe one of my pairs that don't fit me anymore and make this one a little bit bigger. Or I could just I have like 20 pairs of black jeans that were my working pants. I could take one of those apart and even put a jean stripe on the side for this one. But yeah, so that's future projects. I also have some dresses. In my craft tour, I showed you my closet. Well, in there's also dresses that need to be altered. A skirt from my mom that she made for herself. She never stuck an elastic on the waist, so unless it's a perfect size or snug or tight, it's not going to hold on your body. So I'd like to add a piece of elastic in that one. I also would like to shorten it because she had it as a long skirt to the floor. She's also taller than me. I'm only 5'3". She's 5'7". She was 5'8". Last I know, she's 5'7". So she is taller than I am. And so I'd like to shorten it also. I have a dress that looks like a nightshirt, but it is a summer dress to go out in. It has the skinny straps. And but I don't like the way it's curved on the bottom. So I'm going to cut it, like do a hem and hem it to a straight point. But by doing that, it then becomes too short. It's like mid-thigh. And I don't wear dresses that short. So what I want to do is get like a 6 or 7 inch trim that is an eyelid type. Like I have it in mind. I know what I'm looking for. And but it's ruffled and added on the bottom. You know those Spanish, I think it's Spanish dresses where the women wear it's tight and then they've got this ruffle on the bottom. I was thinking of doing something like that, but with my black and white. It's a black and white summer dress, and it's a white background with black blotches. And so I can use black or white. So I'd like to alter that one. I'm big into, like when I first buy things, you like it, but then it's like once you wear it, it's like, this is kind of, this part I don't like, or this part's off, or I think it'll look better with this, and then I alter them. And then there's some that don't fit me anymore, so then I have to add a strip of material on one side and on the other side. And yeah, so that's how I alter clothing. And for the last thing, I'm going to show you the project I'm working on now. So this, I don't know that the dining room light is on. Hopefully it's not interfering with the camera. All right, so this is a comforter that I made. Now, yes, it's very narrow, but I sleep in a single bed and I sleep alone because of my back problems and my snoring. I can't sleep with anybody, and I need my own, like I need a small space because I used to sleep in a double by myself and I would toss and turn pillows and blankets on the floor. I just had the worst sleep. Now that I sleep in a single bed, it's still a little bit too big for me, but at least I'm not tossing and turning as much and I wake up with less back pain. But so anyways, I'm upcycling. This was a duvet cover. And inside is a blanket my daughter used to have. My mom had bought herself and my oldest daughter these blankets. Now, there's only this piece left. And of course, it's the lion. But this is the material. And this material is so soft. It's like silk. It's like, oh my God, amazing. But you put this on your bed and then you go to sleep. You wake up in the morning and it's either on the floor or up against the wall. Because it is so soft, it's slippery and it slides. I don't know if any of you have experienced blankets like that. But that's what this one does. It is amazingly warm. Fabulous blanket, definitely worth every penny, but it's nice to have a warm blanket if it would stay on you and keep you warm. You wake up in the middle of the night and you're freezing cold because the blanket's gone. So, oh, and I kept this part. Like there was two of them, a double and a queen. My oldest had the double, my mom had the queen. I kept the lion. I want to do something with it. I was born under the zodiac sign Leo, and I am definitely a cat lover. According to the Chinese horoscopes, they go by the year you were born, and I was born in the year of the tiger. So I am a lion tiger, and I do absolutely love cats. I actually have a connection. When I was living at home, I think I was like 13, 14, 15, somewhere in there. We went for a walk around the block and there was this black cat across the street. And the cat, I don't know, at some point came over to our side of the street, but stayed way behind us and kept following us. And my mom's husband said, wait a minute, cross the street just for fun. So I crossed the street and the cat crossed the street. And he's like, okay, now come back. So then I went back on their side. The cat went back on their side. So it is believed that I have a connection with cats. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. I do know I love cats. And I was born under Leo and Tiger. So take it as you will. That's just another story of my life. All right. So I decided this is a duvet cover, and I decided to cover that blanket with this, because then I have the warmth of the blanket, but at the same time, this is on it, so it's not going to slip and slide. Or so I thought. Then I went to sew it, and I don't know if you can tell on the camera, it kept bunching. Because even though I pinned it and I tried to sew it as straight as possible, the blanket within this duvet cover was shifting as I was sewing. And so most of it looks good, but now I was thinking of doing another row of stitching, like 3-4 inches in, just to give it, because eventually this is going to go. The blanket will fray inside and this is going to go. So I figure I'll do another one about 3-4 inches in. Well, I pinned it and started, and then I had the blanket inside, like bunching up. I'd have bunches. And it's like, how am I supposed to sew bunches? So now I'm thinking what I might do is just with a zigzag stitch, like check out this zigzag stitch. I love it. I decided to do it just for fun. Like, look at this. Isn't that a nice trim? And that is the biggest stitch, zigzag stitch my machine will do. But isn't that amazing? I love it. Turned out so nice, and I didn't do that everywhere. But anyways, so what I'm thinking of doing is just in random areas, straighten out the blanket, and then with the machine, just do that zigzag stitch just in. And then let's say here, go at an angle. Or up here, I don't know, go kind of a round thing. Like just out of the border, just have random stitchings that come in. Some will come in at 6 inch, some maybe a foot or 10 inch, or you know what I mean? Just to kind of hold that blanket in place so that when time goes by and I wash it, well, it's white, you're going to have to wash it a lot. That part in here that's stitched in, if it starts fraying, it's not depending on just that stitch. It actually has other stitching. Or I could put buttons. I was thinking maybe put a nice big button in the 4 corners, and then maybe just random on the sides, put more. But I don't know. I think I like the idea of the stitching. See, then something like this, you straighten it out, right? And then, see, even when you straighten it out, like look at this. This is all bunched. Like it was really hard. Anyways, you know how I can talk. So I'll probably end up just doing the stitching coming in from the sides. And then this is the one I am working on right now. So I have this material. Now this blanket has a purple blanket inside. Now this was from my oldest daughter also, just like the other one. This is a blanket she had in her late teens and early 20s that she no longer wants. It's not her style anymore. So I figure, okay, why throw it away? It's a very thick, warm blanket. You gotta upcycle. I found this at Value Village years ago, and I had planned to just fold it in half and make a bedspread for my bed. And that was probably like 4 or 5 years ago. And then when I got this blanket, I'm like, wait a minute, this can be the cover for it. Because blue is my color for my bedroom. Blue, white, and then, you know, textiles is all different colors. So I decided to make this blanket. And so I folded it over. I did a stitching along here. Again, that really wide zigzag. And then I did a stitching along there. But when I did this one, it was this much extra material. And I thought, you know what? Let's just do something different and funky and like makes no sense. So instead of cutting it off, I decided to just fold it over. So here you've got a lip. You don't have it on this side. This side is just nice, normal. This is the weird side. So I might put like a ribbon or something along here. I don't know. I'm going to do something funky there. But now that the sides are done, the material's in, it is too long too. I still have to shorten it. But I thought I would do the top first. And then for this top, I have to sew in the layers, right? But I did not do this one like I did the white. With the white, I had the inside, the outside I folded over, and then the back side I folded and then sewed it that way. That is the way you're supposed to do it. But with this one, I did not. And I thought, you know, I'd rather have a piece of different pattern, different color material. So this is from another duvet cover I have. So I have my iron and my little ironing board here. What I plan on doing is ironing this, folding it over, iron the fold. Then once that's ironed, you open it up and then you fold this into the fold, iron it, fold this into the fold, iron it, and then you have this nice trim. And then I'm going to sew that trim onto here. So that's what I plan on doing. And then I'll measure from the finished product down. I'm only 5'3". Most beds are 6'3", 6'4", something like that. So I think I'm going to do this 6 feet or 6.5 feet. But right now, this thing is like 84 inches or something. Don't forget, this is for a king-size bed, this comforter. It was for a king-size bed. So it's way too long. So yeah, I'm going to finish off the top, and then I'll measure, cut off the bottom, do another trim. I don't know if I'm going to use the same material or if I'm going to use something else that's totally funky and out of place. I want to do a strip on that side. So that is the project I'm working on now. And then when this one's done, I'm going to go back to this one and do this weird stitching, zigzag, I don't know, funky stuff. And then both of them will be done. And I'll have 2 more comforters that I can use for camping. I can use in the house, in the bedroom. This one, actually, if you put it on top of a mattress pad, this one seems to have some foam in it. Where is the part I cut? Okay, right here. If you look at it, I don't know if you can tell. It looks like there might be a real thin layer of foam in there. So this one, if that is, you know, like even if it's not, this is very padded. Between the 2 layers of this and this, it feels really padded. So you could actually put this on top of an air mattress or a foam mattress on the ground or when you go camping, and it'll give it a little more padding. And then if you need it as a blanket, you just then go under it. So yeah, all kinds of options. So I just wanted to show you what I do. And this is the dining room. I do my big sewing projects all in here. because my craft room is not big enough to have a sewing table in there. So I use my dining room for sewing. I have all my sewing supplies in this cabinet over here. This is my little ironing board. Oh, and by the way, never ever lean on them. I leaned on this side and it's now bent. So it doesn't look too bad, but I unbent it a little bit, but not completely. So it is angled a little bit. And this is all my bird seed to feed my birds. And then in here, I don't know if you can see it from that angle. This is all my sewing supplies in here. My thread, my sewing needles, buttons, all the little, the spools for the sewing machine, my material cutter. It's all my sewing stuff. And nobody sees it. When someone comes over or we have a family event, all this stuff goes in here. This and this with my machine and this cabinet goes in the craft room, just out of the way. And then we can have our entertaining. And then when the entertaining is done and I'm done cleaning up from it, I bring everything back out. And yeah, and then I do my sewing. It's all done on this table. Anyways, that's everything I got for you today. I hope you enjoyed this introduction to my sewing craziness. And there will be more videos on me doing actual projects. I just wanted to let you know what's the type of things I do. And yeah. So remember, do what makes you happy and everything else will fall into place. And I will see you on the next one. Bye for now.